Hey Marcos, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription transition lenses for your RayBan 6182 color 2502 in the 50i size. I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging as RayBan sends it to me. Your RayBan case, your RayBan frame, your RayBan cleaning cloth. Of course, I will provide you with instructions on how to carry, not just for your eyeglasses, but for your cleaning cloth in case, so it will last you for years. Now, this is how RayBan sends it to me. It actually has two plastic sleeves on the temples to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. And you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging, including the lens that says RayBan on there. So the first thing I'm going to do, this one's a little different from the rest. I'm going to put two red dots. Let me grab my favorite red pen. I'm going to put two red dots on your lens. Normally I trace the frame, but on a semi-rimless I have to trace the lens. So, make sure everything is lined up perfectly. I can do better than that. I can do better. Let me make sure those are matching just perfectly. I am a perfectionist when it comes to cutting people's lenses. So, put that back down there. So I'm going to pop your lens off. I'm going to get my little tracing wheel. Grab a new sticker, pull the paper off, and now I'm going to line up your lens onto the tracing block, the tracing platform, the tracing stylus. So, push that in there. If I can get that in there right. There we go. Why are you fighting me? Alright, so I'm going to trace the right lens, and we hit start. The stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the circumference of your right lens here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will be reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. So in just a moment the shape is going to come up. You have a 17 bridge, so let me enter that information. 17. And let's go ahead and put in your pupillary distance. Oh, it's asking for the small block. Okay, I can work with that. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. Your pupillary distance, it automatically comes up at 32.5. I'm going to hit this button and go down in half steps until I'm at 31. And let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads, in fact, let me do this on here so you know what you're getting. Make sure the camera is just right. Your right eye is minus 150, minus 50 at 60. Minus 150, minus 50 at 60. That makes your left. Let me go ahead and mark this one left, and that is your right lens. And you're also going to receive the manufacturer's original packets here to verify you are getting the name brand product. So, minus 150, minus 50. Let me zero out my lensometer. We are looking good there. Let me turn the axis wheel to 60, which we have there. Put it on minus 150 here. Take your right lens out of the protective sleeve and put it in. Rotate your lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction, which is perfect. And I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, which are a little too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken them. Uno, dos, tres. I'm getting good at this. That is your right lens, so I'll put an R on there. Your left eye reads minus 75, minus 50. Minus 75, minus 50 at 107. Take it out of the protective sleeve. Turn the axis wheel to 107. Put your lens in. Rotate it. Oh, I've got to put the power drum on minus 75. Minus 75. Rotate your lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction, of which I will explain how that works in just a little bit. Put 3 dots on there. Un, deux, trois. And we're going to put an L on here, and L stands for not right. Just like me. I ain't right. Okay, so let's get everything together here. That is your left lens and your right lens. So, the reason why I put those dots in there is your lens has to line up there just perfectly. It cannot be oriented at all. So those 3 dots tells me how everything's going to lay out. Now, this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need to use a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've already got a couple on. Let's give you the full service. Let's put the sticker on for you. Got those hanging above my head. Let me pull uno dos. Put the sticker on like that. Put the sticker on there. Now the back side of this has a little silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. But I'm going to pull the paper off to show you this is a 3M adhesive pad. The magnet's going to line up to a one there, and that's going to hold it in place in the arm. Get everything lined up. That center dot is your optical center. It's going to sit in front of your pupil. This blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. If you actually measure it vertically and horizontally, the exact middle of your frame is where that blue cross is. Your eye is just inset from there, right there. The other two dots that I put on there, I line up with this orange graph, and it tells me that your lens is centered just perfectly, and that it's not, let me pick this one up, that it's not rotated incorrectly. So let me take a moment and get this in there just perfect. Did I mention I'm a perfectionist? Okay, so that's looking good. And actually I've got the wrong things on here. I've got the wrong things. I need to use the little ones. The little ones. Where's the little ones? There we are. Same little sticker. I've just cut them to go onto the little blocks. Pull the paper off. Again, it's still the 3M. I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to hit that button, and the arm is going to come down and place the block onto your right lens. Let's move that over. Pull the sticker off, show you the 3M. Get off me, sticker, get off me. Put that in there. Where's your left lens? Here it is. Let's get that lined up just perfectly as well. Dots right there in the center. Those two dots tells me that it's lined up perfectly. Your pupillary distance for the left eye is 31. That mirrors what it was for the right. Hit the button. The arm comes down and places the block onto your left lens. Now, this is the cutting wheel over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel is going to flatten it out, and then what's down here, this little blade, is going to cut the groove into your lens. Now these are the blocks that come on here. This is what holds it in place while it is cutting. I need the smaller ones for you on this one. So I'm going to put that one on that side, that one on this one. And now the magnet's going to do its job twice. It's going to hold it in place in the chuck right there, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to wake up the computer. That is the shape of your lens. That's the little red block. See, the little red block. A nice little picture of it there. Family portrait. I do not want to polish the edges. I'm only going to put a light bevel on the front of the lens. I'm going to put a heavy bevel on the back. The PC stands for polycarbonate. And I'm going to hit the green start button, which is the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by two white styluses to make sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And it is. It's going to go around twice, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place to cut the groove into the frame. Let me hit the button again so that it is centered just perfectly. Sorry for bumping the door there. Yeah, this is a 3D movie for everyone watching at home. Now if you notice there is water running in the background. You can see the light glistening off of it. Polycarbonate cuts dry, where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. In just a moment, the lens is going to touch down on the cutting wheel, and you will hear a grinding sound. The first sound will be the grinding of my teeth because I've had too much coffee today. That is the grinding of your lens against the wheel. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. The brand is Essilor, one of the best premium brands in the world. They call polycarbonate airwear because it is light as air when you wear them. These are Transition 7, Signature 7 series. The GY is gray. Now polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber. If it wasn't bulletproof, could have hit it with this piece of paper, not have it shatter. You want something a little tougher? Okay, how's that? You want something a little tougher? How's that? But yeah, your lenses also have their unbreakable, bulletproof up to 22 caliber, and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes that never needs to be reapplied. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're at the beach, this is permanent and you never have to worry about it ever again. Now your lenses are also, that AS stands for aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction like a fish bowl. Gives you an ugly, you've seen people's lenses have that big bulging round lens. It looks terrible. So not only your lens is thinner and flatter, but this front curvature is much flatter than most people's lenses to fit today's flatter curvature frames. So it's going to give you the best cosmetic look possible. Now when you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses. If you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable, bulletproof polycarbonate with both UVA and UVB protection, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then when you want to upgrade to the aspheric lenses, which are flatter, to give you the best cosmetic look possible, there's an upgrade fee for that. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free simply by buying the frame from me. Now this frame sells the RayBan 6182 in the 53 eye size in color 2502, which is the classic shiny black. Sells for $160, and of course you're going to get 1 pair of free prescription lenses with the purchase of every frame. You upgraded $50 to the transition lenses, so your total price is $210. And of course no tax on eyeglasses in North Carolina. Think of it as tax-free weekend year-round. Now if you just noticed, the little arm has come into place, and at the end of that arm is a little wheel that you would find on a Dremel tool. That is actually slicing a groove through your lens where it's going to hold it in place with this little fishing string. It's a 20-pound monofilament. That's what holds your lens into place, so it's cutting the groove onto that lens now. Now the nice thing about this is if you're rough on frames, when your lens pops out, your frame's going to become very pliable. Whereas if you sit on a plastic frame or an all metal frame, there's nothing that'll break away like a breakaway goal. The plastic will break and there's nothing we can do about that. The metal can break. Now some metals can be soldered, but not all of them. Titanium cannot be. And you may have to, oops, look at me. You may have to buy a new frame. With this is a 2-minute repair that almost everyone does for free. I certainly do. So the groove is done, and now it's going back down to the flat stone just to smooth off any rough edges and around the circumference of the lens. And in just a moment you will see water begin to spray just to wash away any optical debris or optical sawdust that may be on the lens. Come on, water, I've been talking about you. Make me proud. There we go, look at that. Now water has begun spraying on the lens. It does this for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Again, just to wash away any optical debris. Optical sawdust, if you will. Now that same lever that had that cutting wheel on it has another wheel on the tip that is going to apply what's known as the safety bevel. It's going to smooth out the front surface, the convex surface of your lens going all the way around, and then it's going to smooth out the rear surface, the concave rear surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. Your lens is almost done. In a moment, I'm going to open this door with my mind. Come on, door. Ooh, you like that, Marcos? You like that? Now, the other thing I can do, I can melt ice with my mind. It just takes a while, but I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna hit that button, open up the chuck. Your lens comes out. Dry your lens off. I'm going to go ahead and remove not using that tool, let's use this tool. I'm going to go ahead and remove the block from your lens, and it's no longer needed. And we're going to go ahead and put your left lens into the chuck, and we're going to start cutting that. We're going to flip that over to L, which in Latin stands for not right. And hit the green button, and just like before, the door closes, that clamp shuts. And then your lens is going to be traced by the two white styluses to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame as it goes around right this corner and then back to the top again. Of course, measuring it twice to know exactly where to cut the groove into the lens. In just a moment, the wheel is going to move into place, and then the lens is going to drop down and begin cutting onto that surface. The roughing wheel, as it's called. It is dropping down very slowly. I cut polycarbonate on the slow cycle. Now we can go ahead. I'm going to use my thumbnail to remove any optical debris. Look at that. That is called Schwarf. That is some of the optical sawdust. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully remove all of that using my thumbnail. Going all the way around the back surface. Do the same thing on the front surface. I carefully collected all off the lens and into one pile on the counter. I collect it into one pile very neatly, and then I wipe it on the floor. The reason why I do that, it fools people when they come over. If I got trash on the floor, it makes it look like I've been working. So I got to mount this into here. You've heard the old saying, you have to have the right tool for that job. But that tool is a little piece of ribbon for wrapping presents. So I'm going to tuck the lens in. There's actually a groove in the top of the frame. I'm just going to get everything lined up just perfectly there. Now that ribbon is folded in half. I grab the string with one side, grab the ribbon with both sides so I have something to grip to. I start at the outside corner. And when I move my way towards the nose, once you hear the snap, oh snap, it is in the frame. I tuck, though it's in the lens, I tuck my finger, which, not this finger, not that finger, not this one, not that one, but this finger, Marcus, that finger. I'm going to tuck this finger on top of the frame, on top of the lens, and slide that out. You like that, did you? I'm only demonstrating which finger to use. So, let's go back down here. Your right eye reads -150, -50 at 60. Where my flashlight be? Turn the axis wheel to 60. You see the 60 in there? I'm going to put your lens into my Marco 101 lensometer, my dusty one, so you can see all the dust on the top. Someone just emailed me about an Oakley E-wire. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Check the power of your lens, and I am getting -150. It's halfway between 1 and 2. 150. Actually, since the dots came off, let me put the dots back on your lens. Check your astigmatism correction, of which we have 2 steps, and we're at -2. The unit of, how did we get there? I'll be glad to answer your question, Marcos. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It goes in quarter increments starting at 0, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, 150, and so on. It keeps going up. Your right eye, you need 6 steps of correction for your farsightedness. Up close is great. Anything you can get your hands on is crisp and clear, but whatever you can't reach, anything beyond arm's reach, you need correction for that. You need 6 steps of correction for your right eye. You only need 3 steps of correction for your left eye. Now, you have 2 steps of astigmatism in both eyes. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. It fluctuates. It comes and goes. This first number makes everything the correct size that it should be. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s, or the letters P and F, look alike. Think of this as the fine-tune knob, and we're going to turn this number is anywhere from 0 to 180, a straight line. The tip of my pen starts at 0. The blue cap down here is 180. So with 90 being in the center, so we start at 0 and we're going to turn it to about 60, just before the 90 mark. About 60 is right here. Now for your left eye, we're going to turn that fine-tune knob those 2 steps past the 90 to about the 107. So these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number again could be anywhere from 0 to 180. But you remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, me either. No one ever remembers high school algebra. Let's put it in today's terms. If someone had borrowed $1.50 and then they borrowed another 50 cents, they would owe you $2. That is where we're at. You have 2 diopters of total power, starting at 150 and then the extra 2 steps of astigmatism. For your left eye, we're going to end up at 1 1/4. We're going to start at 0.75, and then when they borrow 50 more cents, we're going to end up at $1.25. $1, Marcos. Okay, so water is spraying on your lens. That tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. That arm's going to move back into place to put the safety bevel onto the front surface, the convex surface of the lens that sits away from the face. And now it's going to move over and smooth out the rear surface, the concave surface of the lens. The concave surface is closest to your eyelashes. Now in just a moment I will open the door with my mind. You like that, did you? Okay. Open that door. Open the chuck. Of course, as I like to call it, the Charles. And let's go ahead and take this block off. Let's go ahead and take this sticker off. Look, the red dot stayed. That is your optical center, the pupillary distance. I'm just going to bypass the middleman, which is the counter, and then I'm just going to scrape this onto the floor this time. Whee! Whee! Hey, the clown gets to have fun at work. Now what I do with your frame is down here somewhere. Okay. Let's pop out your demo lens, the one that actually does say RayBan on there. And you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging. I'm going to tuck that lens in where it's supposed to go. Grab the string with both sides. Start at the outside corner. Move my way towards the nose. And when you hear the snap, it is in the groove. Put my finger, you know which finger, this finger. Put it on the lens. Slide that out. Let's turn the axis wheel to 107, which is the fine-tune knob for your left eye. Put it in there over that red dot. Check the spherical component. What I do with my flashlight. We're getting 0.75. 0. Let me use that. 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, which is what 0.75 is. Check your astigmatism correction. And what did I tell you? We're ending up at 1 1/4. 1 tick mark past the 1. So that is made correctly. Your pupillary distance is 62 millimeters. I'm going to flip this card over, almost knocking your lens off the counter there. Place the 0 of my PD stick against the thumb. When we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 62 millimeters at that dot. Man, the kid is good, although he can't put his PD stick in his pocket. I got to work on that. Now, this is the point in every video as I clean your lenses that I remind you that when you get these in the mail, Marcos, and of course it's free shipping anywhere in the US, but there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one's ear that is higher than the other. And I'm no different to that. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But I'm going to get these, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, when I take mine off and put them on the counter, they wobble because I have one ear that is higher than the other. Flip these over, press down. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. And they're not askew in any way like that. Check the tension on each spring hinge. That is perfect. So that, Marcos, this is what your lenses look like while they are still clear. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of UV light to show you what your transition lenses will look like when you go outside. I'm going to put them in my little transitions box down here and hit the button and turn them on. As you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Marcos, pay attention. Put your beer down. I'm telling you, listen to me, Marcos. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of a constant exposure to the sun. Not constant, but just 2 weeks of exposure to the sun every day. And they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield in a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack. That's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. So now you have a reason to go out and get one of those, or both. They're also temperature sensitive. When it's 85 and 90 degrees and below, they get darker than they do when it's over 100 degrees. I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So that's that. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Marcos, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses for your, let me see, I can read it off this way now, your RayBan 6182, color 2502 in the 53 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.